there. And then she said, Ramona, explain what you saw. So I told her, and then she said, I don't know what she asked me then. But then I said something about the eyes, and I was just telling her everything. And I turned around, because I doubted myself. I said, do you think I saw one? And she said, yes, I do. And Joe was there too. And I'm thinking, they are the tiger hunters.
They've seen it.
Yeah.
Trudy and Joe. Yeah, I've talked to them both before. But you don't think anyway this could have been a dog?
That's what they say. And like, I'm old enough to know what a dog is. You know, like you see a dog, your heart's not going to race like that, is it? And you're not going to sort of think, well, Doug said he thought I saw a ghost. So why was the blood drained from my face? Why was I white? Because I saw something that I know wasn't a dog. And do they ask you?
Yeah, well, like I said to them,
that's why you don't say stuff a lot of the time, because they think
as if you're petrified.
Yeah.
You can't move. You're just enthralled, and you're thinking, am I seeing what I'm seeing? And you just,
That's very interesting. Let me turn the camera here to Doug again. Doug, you were telling me about two policemen on the West Coast that had a sighting. Could you tell us approximately where that was and what they relayed to you?
It was north of a little area called Corinna. They were two retired policemen who were rockhounds, and it was fairly early in the morning.
What year was this?
I would estimate it'd be 4 years ago, so it'd be 2012 again. And they were driving, and they saw this animal coming.
Driving north of Corinna?
North of Corinna.
Yeah.
On a gravel road.
Is it Corinna or Corunna?
Corinna.
Corinna.
Yeah.
Okay, I know where that's at. Yep.
Yeah, and they saw this animal coming, like loping towards them.
And now, what time of?
It was probably mid-morning, I think.
Mid-morning.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, they got,
all right.
they saw, because it's a very desolate road. There's very little traffic on it, and they saw it coming towards them. They were only doing about 40 k's because it's a gravel road. They slowed down. Being ex-policemen, they sort of know how to slow down the car. He said, you go into the mode to the door starts to open as it slows down, so you're ready. He grabs his phone with the camera. Then he stops. The car stops. He gets out. Everything's in slow motion, and the tiger is heading towards the tussock. And as he gets up, because it's got a delay on the thing, and he takes 2 or 3 photographs, and he thinks, I've got it. And he looks at the phone, all he gets is tussocks, because it's just that delay. And he said, they didn't see the stripes, but they saw the tail, they saw the movement, the ungainly movement of the animal.
That seems to be a common theme that people that have seen it in motion, the ungainly. Because of presumably the stiff back,
And being a wallaby, or being a marsupial.
Does that mean when I say it's hopping?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Because you saw yours was moved stiff too, is that correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also you saw yours, Debbie?
I don't know, it's just the back end, it sort of goes with it, doesn't it? The tail's there.
Another one.
But the thing is though, like, you've got to, in my mind, I'm thinking, is it a dog? Like even now. And then I just, in here, I'm looking at it from the nose right down the body to the end of the tail, and I can still see it, but it's not a dog. It's just an animal that I've never ever seen. And I grew up down the west coast of Tasmania, and growing up there we were in the mountains all the time. Never once in my life, well, we never grew up to learn about Tassie tigers. Well, they weren't in my life until this day. And then now,
whereas
I
it's
just
different
think,
with me. I grew up with them.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Now another story. Beautiful.
Very first experience, I put my age around 7 or 8. My grandfather owned up around the arm camp, had one of the old trappers' huts up there. when we were kids, we used to come out and stay with them weekends, and they'd traipse us on up there, and we'd stay in the hut. And I can remember him walking us up along the edge of the river, and it come to this clearing, and there was a family of tigers there, and he had photos of them, but I couldn't tell you to this day where the photos are. I reckon they're in New Zealand. My cousin got everything. But
What year would that have been, you reckon?
what am
You're
I?
only 21 now.
Yeah. I would have been 7 or 8. So, and I'm 58 now. So 50 years ago.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
19, so it's
But
60.
yeah, I can remember.
1950, 1950s, but it's still well after the supposedly
Yeah,
extinction
yeah.
day
And it was like a family.
itself. Mhm.
Yeah.
And you saw that, or
Yes.
And how-
And there was this sort of, I remember this big log, and we were sort of peeking through, and he'd say, now you sit there really quiet, and we all had to creep up. And I can remember all the rocks down along the river edge and everything, and there was a like a cave type thing, not a rock cave, just where they were, but they'd come down to the edge of the water, and they were drinking there. And
Did you ever hear the tiger making any sounds in any of your, or
well, with them, yeah, just
what
not-
type of
not
sounds?
growling, but how would you explain it?
I've never
not
heard,
a,
I wouldn't know.
sort of like a whelp, but not a bark. Just I don't know how you could explain that.
Some people said they made a yapping sound.
Yeah, but it's more. What sounds similar? Oh, yeah, no, I don't know, but yeah, just
Sort of a.
more a yip, but not high pitched.
This was when they were with the
Yeah, they
youngsters.
were-
Yeah, well, it
yeah.
might have been a different
Two
sound when they were
youngsters
hunting.
and the male and the female. Yeah, they were all there together.
And I remember Kelly, she went camping up at Lake,
Parangana.
yeah,
Mhm.
and she said she was there one night.
What lake was this?
Parangana.
Parangana up here. And then she took her family up there, they just do water sport and stuff. And she said she laid there one night and she said she could hear this noise. And she says it's a noise she's never ever heard because like she's a country lady. And she said to me, she said, I think it was a Tassie tiger. And then I'd ask her what it, because I don't know what they sound like, and she sort of didn't say it, but you know, like when you live in an area, you know the noises of the animals and stuff, don't you? And you
What-
know, like, no, I don't know.
You know what year that was?
That would only be, I'm going to say, well, we were here in the pub, and she's been working for us since then, so maybe 2010 maybe, 2011.
Not that long ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me turn back to Doug again. Doug, did you have any other sightings that have come
Well,
through?
as I mentioned, we have the Animal Planet film crew here.
Just recently, yeah.
Same after Debbie told her story, one of the local footballers was here the next night, and he was talking to the crewmate, the film crew. Yeah, after they went to bed, he said, "Oh, Doug," he said, "I saw one last year." I said, "Where?" He said, "On the way." He's a miner.
This would have been 2015.
Yeah, last year, and they were going to work, and I said, "So what time was it?" He said, "Oh, well, it takes us 2 hours to come from Deloraine to down the west coast where he's working to Zion." And he said, it'd be 8:15. There's 3 of us in the car. We see this, and I know exactly the straight, 'cause I did a lot of time down the west coast. And there was this animal sitting on the side of the road. They saw the stripes. It got up, it heard them coming. It was eating. It turned around, saw them, and they saw the stripes, the stiff tail, and it just sort of hobbled into the
They don't
bush.
run, they just.
Yeah, they
Lots of
don't
times,
ever
yeah.
rush,
Yeah.
do they? Like,
He said it was just not in a hurry. He
I
said,
shouldn't
just
say
animals.
they, because you only hear the stories, what people say, but the story is always the same, that it never goes boop like that, like if it's a dog, it will just go, but this animal just takes its
So
time.
can are they known for speed? Were they ever known for speed?
Yeah, but they are, aren't they? Don't they hunt their...
They run apparently according to the
So
records
who
they
knows?
run.
Like,
They-
who really
Yeah.
knows?
Well, back to the sighting on the west coast. Where from Zian was?
It was just past the golf course, the Rosebery golf course. So you go through, and it's just before it's before the Renison Bill mine. There's a bit of a straight, lopey straight there, and there's very heavy bush on both sides.
So that's close to Zian.
No, it'd be about halfway between Rosebery and Zian.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'd be, just memory, it'd be, say, 2 miles from the Renison Bill mine. There's a big mine, a big stack in it. Yeah.
So that's a very
last year.
very recent sighting. Yeah, and there were three people, and they all had.
And he said we weren't drinking because
Yeah, they're going to work.
they're going to work and they got to do the breath test before they go into in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
And then
very-
Well, that adds some legitimacy to the sighting.
That's like a lot of people, that's why that you don't tell a lot of people, because they say, oh, how much you've had to drink. And I'm thinking, in the end, you just switch off.
You don't tell
You know,
anybody.
you don't, do you?
No. Well, I hadn't told anybody.
Well,
When that
I was
film crew
surprised
come
that
in,
you, yeah.
like my husband knew because I was with him back then, so I'd told him, and then Gavin,
Yeah.
because Gavin seen one up the arm, up the Allen Cliffs beforehand. He
Now, who's Gavin?
Gavin Howe.
Uh-huh.
He's passed away now.
Okay, and what year was his sighting then, approximately?
Oh, it's on the paper in there.
Yeah,
A long time ago?
would have been 83.
So you don't remember the years and
Yeah.
stuff, do you? You
I
just
remember
remember
the
the story.
Ramonas because it was
You
my
done it.
first triple top mountain run, which was,
Yeah.
and I
Well,
thought,
with all these sightings here, and of course I've had a lot of sightings too, people I've met. I know we've got probably double and triple the amount of sightings that are in the books on the tiger, and it certainly seems like a lot of the so-called experts feel that, well, there's no proof, and so the official extinction date was, what was it, 35 or 36, 1935 or 36, and they're still doubtful, but
extinction, that was 86 because 50 years from,
yeah, I'm sorry, the last one known to have been alive was the one that died in Hobart in 36.
Ben.
Ben.
yeah, although
Yeah.
there's the sighting by that Parks and Wildlife guy down the west coast in 80.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's often, what was his name, do you recall?
Nard,
Narding, Hans Narding?
yeah, Haynes.
And that's often referred to as the very best sighting, but it was one person, and it was raining that night that he saw it. He was asleep in his car, supposedly.
Yeah, I read that.
And
yeah.
and I think some of these sightings that we've just discussed here, certainly your sighting,
Yeah.
it sounds much stronger actually. And then I have some that were two people who've seen the tiger at very close range.
What about that fella down at that with the film crew that we had? He come from with a big hat on.
Oh, yeah,
Charlie.
he's from Waratah.
Warwick, yeah, he's
Mine
seen
boss
him.
down.
Can you tell me about that sighting?
Yeah,
No, he didn't really tell us because we were sort of busy and
yeah,
when I was
but
being a
that'll
movie
be on the
star.
documentary.
Okay.
But another one shortly, 2008 we took over the hotel February, and we'd been in here about 6
Oh,
months,
that
and we had
fella
a
and
chap
his
stay
son.
with us, yeah, and we were telling us, like Ramona was telling us the story, and he worked out like 6 months after Ramona saw the one that she saw. He was coming on this side of the gog, coming down, and one walked in front of him with him and his son, or him and his daughter, at night, and they both looked at each other, never said anything until they got down the bottom, and they said, "Did we see that?"
Yeah, and that's how you feel. Like you think,
Yeah.
did you see it? Like, is it real? But you know when your body, your heart reacts and you think, shit, it's not right. You know, you shouldn't see what you've seen.
That's how powerful the human brain is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, what these guys in the film crew told us, because they interviewed Nick Mooney, who is taken over from Eric Geiler as the spokesperson for. He used to be a little bit sceptical, I think, apart from this other Parks and Wildlife officer. But he told them that since the last one died in 1936 till now, there's been at least 1,000 positive recording sightings. And his theory is that those 1,000 people can't have all got together and cooked up the same story.
No,
But I said, well, there's probably 10,000 sightings really.
because you get those people that don't
Because
say
don't
anything.
say
I
haven't
know
seen
probably
anything.
20 people have seen them and they have never reported
You
them.
know, almost any time I go to any sort of social gathering, like there was a little air show near Georgetown just a few weeks ago, and if anybody asks why I'm in Tasmania, and if I tell them I'm interested in the Tassie tiger, almost invariably some person, say out of a group of 30 people, somebody's uncle saw one 10 years ago, or 30 years ago, or 5 years ago. It's really quite amazing.